Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review, and next up is the Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified Series fan channel exclusive 2-pack of Snake Eyes and Timber Alpha Commando. So big shout out and thank you to Dorkside Toys. They seem to get stuff in earlier than most other online retailers. Not always the case, obviously, and then I see on Facebook people complain about Dorkside all the time. They haven't done me wrong at all, and they've always been pretty quick. Yes, I didn't get in on the first round of pre-orders being shipped out, but I did get in on what I assume is the second round of shipments, whereas any of my pre-orders from other websites have not come through. So I'm very excited to get this. I received it today, and it looks pretty awesome. I can't wait to take Timber out of the package and see all the articulation that he has, because it looks fantastic. But anyway, looking at the package, typical G.I. Joe Classified Series packaging. Obviously, it's just a little bit wider. I'm trying to think, is it as wide as 2? About 1 3/4, a little bit more, but pretty cool looking package. We get this artwork of Commando Snake Eyes right there on the side. We get the same thing, and we get the little Timber added on there, which looks pretty cool. Here on the back of the package, this is the typical back of the package that we've seen with all the other Classified Series figures. Now, I don't have one of the newer ones to compare to see if there's been anything new added, but I think this was the most recent one. Like, we have Firefly, we have Blood on there, we got Zartan, Flint, Jay, Beachhead. We still have the Alley Vipers, which have not been announced in any way yet. And I think that's it. We've seen them already. You know, they've been on the packaging before, so that's nothing new. It is number 30, as you can see there, and right there. Here are the different insignias for Snake Eyes and Timber. And with that, let's get this thing opened up. Okay, so here is Snake Eyes and Timber out of the package. And this set is absolutely bananas. This thing is awesome. Timber is done incredibly well. The articulation on him is crazy. So can't wait to kind of go over it and show you guys the details. First, I want to go over the accessories for Timber. He comes with 2 head sculpts. So out of the package, we kind of get this neutral head sculpt here, which looks really good. And then we also get the interchangeable angry or growling head sculpt there, which is pretty cool. Love the detail there. For Snake Eyes, he has a few different accessory pieces. No interchangeable hands still or anything, but we get a few different guns. Don't know what this one's called. You guys can let me know down in the comments below, but I like the way it looks. It's nice, well detailed. Just done in a black plastic color. So that is his first weapon. We have this one here, this rifle. And it looks really good as well. The next is the Uzi. That looks pretty good. Mine came a little warped out of package, as you can see. Not a big deal. Just warm it up and it'll go right back to how it belongs. That's pretty good. He also has a handgun, which can be holstered here, which does kind of get in the way, because you see this pouch portion of his vest that comes down. It's basically sitting right on top of each other, so it's a little bit of a pain in the ass. You kind of have to work around it a little bit. And now, because I'm on camera doing it, it was hard for me to pull out. There is the handgun, as you can see there. That looks pretty good. He does have the silencer or suppressor. You guys can correct me down in the comments below, because I get corrected on that all the time as far as which one is which. And that does holster in there as well. So you can port this on like so, or not like so. Kind of like so. Doesn't want to port on. There we go. So there we have the suppressor or silencer. Again, you guys correct me down in the comments below. It's not going to work on anything here. We do have a hole on this one, though. Obviously, that's not going to work because we need a peg system. Let's see if it can go onto the Uzi, which could work, but I don't know if that has any actual real-world application there. So it doesn't really fit. But yeah, those are the accessories, so not a bad bunch. Oh, he does come with the knife as well, and the knife is very nice. The blade has a nice gunmetal color to it, so it's not just a gray plastic or black plastic. There is paint on there, and it looks really damn good. We get nice serrated edge there, a little bit of sculpted detail in there, but the paint is really nice on there. So nice metallic gunmetal on there for the knife, and he does have a sheath on his left leg there, and it does it is able to go all the way down. I know the first release had some issues but this one is all good. So now let's take closer looks at the two figures. Okay, so a close-up look at the Snake Eyes figure. He's mostly beachhead figure. His boots are, well, the shin guards are different, and then he has a different vest. But for the most part, he is basically the beachhead figure. He has a new head sculpt, of course. We get some paint. We get some shiny paint right there for his visor. We get a little bit of paint. We get the G.I. Joe logo there. It says 00 right on a grenade. Other than that, there's really no paint apps to this guy. Right here on his shirt under the vest is actually like a shinier black paint. But again, there's really not a whole lot of other colors going on in here. The sheath, the straps right here are slightly different color, more of like a really dark gray as opposed to a black. But again, just all kind of different colors. We actually do get some gray for the soles of his boots, which are pretty cool. And then these shin guards are new. I haven't seen these with other boots. I looked at other figures, and they are not the same. They are not the same as the previous Snake Eyes figure, and the legs are different. At first, I thought the Snake Eyes, the legs were completely the same, but they are not. These are Beachhead's legs. Yeah, but the vest looks incredible. The detail is insane. I just wish we would have gotten some more paint to really show off the details. But it's crazy because, I mean, even looking at this mesh portion here, just the details of it look absolutely insane. I love how it came out looking of the sculpt. Just really, really nice. Looking at the back, he does have a peg hole in the back. So if you wanted to use like the backpack from the first Snake Eyes release, you could do that. It actually doesn't look good. I'll show that a little bit later on in the video. I don't know where I put that backpack at the moment, but it doesn't sit flush, so it kind of gets all weird and funky. So I'll show you guys that when I do the comparison with the side by side of the Snake Eyes. But yeah, there we go. Looks really, really nice. Okay, so here is Timber. You can see him, the whole portion of him, and again, he's actually a very large size, which is awesome. But lots of paint on this guy, lots of painted detail. So we get white for some fur portions, we get gray for a lot of his base color, but then we get a little bit of light browns in there. We get some darker grays, just paint everywhere, which is fantastic. That's what we want to see in these action figures, right? So you have white fur, you get a little bit of brown fur, you got gray fur, you got some darker gray fur up at the top, but with some brown shading and everything in there. Just looks incredible. Even the tail gets a little bit of shading in there for that darker color. It looks like a little bit of the brown that's used to go onto there. Just came out looking incredible. Looking at his underbelly there, where you have the white fur and then it lightens up into a light gray, and then the gray starts to really darken up. Just looks absolutely incredible. The details are just insane. The articulation is nuts. Looking at the head sculpt, I mean, look at that. That looks absolutely amazing. We get a couple of scars over here above his left eye, so you can see the two there. But man, that just looks really good. Even, I guess, a couple of scars right here on his snout there. But damn, that just looks so damn good. We get all the same scarring on this head sculpt as well. So you can see that. And to pop it off, it's actually really easy. But it's got a little ball peg there. So it's kind of tricky. You really want to make sure you line it up so you can pop it on. But look at that. And even that looks really, really nice as well. But just incredibly done. Just fantastic. So let's actually go right into the articulation for Timber. So the head is on a ball joint, so you can get all kinds of circular motion and everything there. So no need to worry about that. You can get him into all kinds of different poses looking around. You just can't get him to really look backwards or anything, of course. You can do a full rotation. The neck portion here can go up a little bit and then go in the head. That's as far up as he can look. And then it can also come down and moving the head down. That's as far down as he's gonna look. Not a whole lot, but it is there. You get some pivot going on in that neck piece. Not a whole lot, but you do get some. And then for the body, we have a ball joint at his mid-torso section. So you can kind of pivot that body up. You can pivot that body down and kind of crunch them like so. And then you get some bend and turn there. So you can go that far, or you can go that far there. And then again, it is on a ball joint, so you can move it around any which way. The tail is all on a ball joint and hinge too, so you can hinge it up and down. You could twist and turn it whichever way you like. So that is pretty cool. Now the shoulders, each shoulder is on a ball joint, so works kind of like a butterfly joint, where you can kind of get it to go out a little bit and then get it to go back in. And then of course you get the hinge. You don't really get a full rotation because the body just kind of gets in the way, but otherwise you would almost be able to, which is pretty good. And then here, I don't know if this the elbow or what you would call that, but we get some hinge, so you can get that much bending in that much, and then another hinge here at the ankle, so you got right there. You can hyperextend it there, and then the paws all have a pivot and a hinge to them as well, so you can hinge like so, and then twist, turn, and it's even got painted paws on the bottom. I didn't even notice that till just now. And the claws are painted as well. Just the details are insane. The hind legs, same thing, that ball joint, so you can, it works like a butterfly joint a little bit, so you can get it to go out some and come back. This one you can do a full rotation in there. The body's really not going to get in the way. And then the knee, you can go straight, or you can bend it that much. The ankle right there, you can get that much bend, and it can go straight out. And then again on the paw, you get the hinge and the insane pivot. So the articulation on this guy is just insane. Now the thing that I'll have to learn is what kind of movements does a wolf actually make to be able to get him into a pose that makes sense, because right now this probably looks like shit, but you get the idea. He can move around just in all different sorts of ways. So kudos to Hasbro for doing a fantastic job on an animal figure. Now let's go to Snake Eyes. It's probably going to be a little disappointing because again, the vest really going to hinder the torso. Okay, so we don't really have any surprises in terms of articulation for this guy. Snake Eyes, he can look all the way down, he can look all the way up. The neck is on a separate piece, so you get a swivel at the neck, some pivot motion going on there, and then the head, you get some pivot going on as well. Full rotation. The shoulders, you can get to go straight out like so. Get a full rotation in there. There is a butterfly joint, so you can get the arm to go back some. You can get it to come forward some. Not a whole lot. Mine just might be a little bit stiff trying to come forward, but there is some in there. You have an upper bicep swivel, you get a double jointed elbow like so. There are pins on these since it is all reused body parts, since now they're kind of going pinless. There is an ab crunch, but you're not going to get any function out of it whatsoever with this vest. There is a ball joint at the waist, so you can get some swivel going on in there. You can do a little bit of pivot, but again, that's kind of get hindered by the vest as well, so a little disappointing in that aspect. We have the drop down hips here, and then that really works when you want to get this sheath. I mean, I guess you could really work it further down his leg, but that's just, you know, up to you. Leg, he can't kick forward that much. He can go back a tiny bit. There is an upper thigh cut in there. You just kind of have to loosen it up a bit. You get a double jointed knee like so. There is a boot swivel there. Foot pivots down. A little bit of pivot up, but that boot hits that shin guard. Ankle pivot, peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So decent articulation, but again, that vest greatly hinders what Snake Eyes would be able to do. But this is the Commando version of Snake Eyes. It was kind of prior to him becoming a ninja, if I'm correct. So I guess he isn't going to move around so crazy like when he was kind of at this point. So there we go. Okay, and here are the various different Snake Eyes figures that have released in the classified series line. The same, I mean, the deluxe Snake Eyes, the 00, is basically the same exact figure. Obviously, some color differences, but it's basically the same figure. So having them all here, three side by side, he's much more lean-looking Snake Eyes, whereas the Commando, he's a little bit bulkier, way more tactical, as he has more gear and stuff going on with him. And then, of course, the movie version, which, to talk about the movie real quick while I'm at it, while we're doing a Snake Eyes figure review, I absolutely love the movie. I saw it twice, both times with my son. He loved the movie as well. Now, I get that people are going to be upset, disappointed, or not like the fact that it veers very differently from any of the previous source material. Changes like that tend to happen, so I don't understand why people get so upset about it, as if like they were personally attacked by Hasbro for having made that decision for the film. But I do understand potentially not liking it or disagreeing with it. I, for one, really enjoyed the film. Was it perfect? Absolutely not. Did it have flaws? Of course it did. Henry Golding can't do an American accent for shit. But I really did enjoy the movie. I mean, the story was wildly different than what you may expect, but I enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys got to enjoy it. Just take the movie for what it is, not what has come before. Hopefully you can just enjoy it. But I mean, if you can't, I understand. We all have our own opinions on the movie. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys can or will or did. If not, then hopefully you get to enjoy the toys and the Snake Eyes figures. The figure itself is still pretty cool, and hopefully that doesn't take away, not liking the movie doesn't take away from the action figure itself. But there we go. I had mentioned earlier that I would put the backpack on this Snake Eyes, and as you can see, it kind of looks like shit and doesn't sit nice and flush. Okay, so there's my review, my final thoughts on this figure. This is an absolutely amazing set. I can't wait for all of you guys to be able to get your hands on it. The Timber figure is so well done and looks just incredible. It's just a matter of understanding wolf anatomy on how the legs and the body will move and figuring those things out. But an incredible figure. Snake Eyes is pretty cool too, but let's face it, the big highlight here is, of course, Timber. Snake Eyes is cool, but the Timber figure is just out of this world. But you guys let me know down in the comments below what you guys think of the Timber figure, what you guys think of the Snake Eyes figure, what you thought of the Snake Eyes movie. Again, please keep it civil. We all have our own independent opinions on how we feel the movie was. I enjoyed it. I liked it. I hope you guys did too. If you didn't, I understand, and that is okay. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching.